Richmond Castle in Richmond, North Yorkshire, stands in a commanding position above the River Swale. It was originally called Richmount, the Strong Hill. The castle was constructed by Alan Rufus from 1071 onwards, following the Norman Conquest of England. This is the Great Tower. This is the one that you can walk up. Are you nice and cool, Bertie? In the 12th century, Rufus's great-nephew Conan expanded the castle and built the keep. Although it was derelict by 1540, it was restored centuries later. The property is the best preserved early Norman castle in the whole of England. Okay, so this is all the footage that I lost last time. This is the main view of the castle and how it's laid out, and the river is directly ahead of us in that valley. Oh my gosh, guys, this is so tight. This is like claustrophobic hell. It's the width of me. My backpack is actually In the year 1069, William the Conqueror had put down a rebellion at York, which was followed by his harrying of the north, a brutal act of ethnic cleansing which depopulated large areas for generations. As a further punishment, he divided up the lands of North Yorkshire among his most loyal followers. Alan Rufus of Brittany received the borough of Richmond and began constructing the castle to defend against further rebellions and to establish a personal power base. His holdings, called the Honour of Richmond, covered parts of 8 counties and amounted to one of the most extensive Norman estates in England. Now we're going to the top. A 100-foot-high keep of honey-coloured sandstone was constructed at the end of the 12th century by Duke Conan IV of Brittany. Then the earldom of Richmond was seized in 1158 by Henry II of England. It was King Henry II who probably completed the keep, which was given 11-foot-thick walls. Modern visitors can climb to the top of the keep, as I'm doing here, for magnificent views of the town of Richmond. At the same time that the keep was probably completed, Henry II considerably strengthened the castle, adding towers and a barbican. Henry III and King Edward I spent even more money on the site, including Edward's improvements to the keep interior. You can see Alex and Bertie. Hi Bertie! He looks really confused. If you're enjoying this short video of my historic castle tour, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free and it really helps my channel. I do a lot of different video content, so if you're a history lover, just let me know. On the other side of the castle from the keep, overlooking the River Swale, was another enclosure or bailey called the Cockpit, which may have functioned as a garden and was overlooked by a balcony. That's where I'm exploring now. Richmond Castle had fallen out of use as a fortress by the end of the 14th century, and it did not receive any major improvements after that date. A survey in the year 1538 shows that it was partly in ruins, but then paintings by Turner and others, together with the rise of tourism and an interest in antiquities, led to repairs to the keep in the early 19th century. This garden is exactly what I want Craigieburn to be like. Quite wild with all the grasses and the yarrow. Unfortunately, we don't have a castle right behind us. Wow, look at all of this. Oh, their alliums are still up. Like I mentioned earlier, there's so many butterflies. Did you know that for 2 years, from 1908 to 1910, the castle was the home of Robert Baden-Powell, later founder of the Boy Scouts, while he commanded the Northern Territorial Army, but the barracks building was demolished in 1931. The castle was also used during the First World War as the base of a non-combatant corps made up of conscientious objectors. These are conscripts who refused to fight. It was also used to imprison some of the conscientious objectors who refused to accept army discipline and participate in the war in any way at all. These included the famous Richmond 16, who were taken to France from the castle, charged under field regulations, and then sentenced to death. But luckily, their death sentences were commuted to 10 years hard labour. I would highly recommend Richmond as a town to visit. This is our second time here and we're planning a third. The castle is amazing, but the medieval town itself and the waterfalls are also a must-see. There are plenty of places to park, and it's big enough to spend a whole day exploring the area. If you're coming to England, Richmond really should definitely be on your bucket list.